So, Monday morning, back at it again, back in this room. Can we get it finished this week? We'll see, but for now, I've got a lot of mudding to do. Now, yesterday I didn't film anything, but I've been sanding the walls. I didn't think I was going to do it, I've decided to do it. You can see where I've done and where I've not done now. Look at this. All done, all not done. This is why I've decided to do it. Here as well, done, not done, done, up to this line. You can see a line there. But for now, it's back to tape and mud on the top between the wall and the ceiling, so I'm gonna get cracking on with that. And also, go around the room and check for things like this that need a bit of mud. And all here needs mudding. Try and make this look a bit nicer than what it currently is. Sneak peek at the colour of the wall. There we go. See if we can get this done. Second coat and coat on the top, done. That will do, that's got to dry now. I hate that corner. But there you go, that's it. 2 coats, first coat on the top, let that dry, maybe do a second coat on the top in the afternoon, but that's it for now. Nice, we're getting there. So yesterday I spent most of the day in here sanding. Now I've got a little bit left on the ceiling to do. Hopefully I can hold my arms above my head today, because at the end of yesterday I could not. But you should be able to see the patch I've got left. This little area right here. And all the rest is good enough. I'd had enough. And then I'm going to come along here, I'm going to sand down the edges, hopefully get this a little bit smoother. It's still not 100% dry in areas, which is surprising. And then maybe do a second pass along the top, I don't know, but for now, we're back to this. Everywhere is finished, done, sanded. There's a bit of a mess to clean up though. I've got one place left. And it's my problem corner. Now, it's rather thick on the edges, which is my problem. Because getting the corner tool in there as I want is very difficult. Because I've got this wall here. Sand it, I guess. And then we're done. Rather than sanding, I would much prefer to be outside in the garden, barbecue and beer. 18 degrees. That's my kind of sun. It's not too hot, it's just nice. Okay, so we're on Wednesday now. Yesterday I finished sanding the entire room. So we're done with the sanding. There's a couple of bits that could be better. There's a couple of bits around the top which are slightly cracked. I think I might just fill a little bit of silicone in there or something. Whatever the stuff is you can paint over. Anyway. But I'm pretty damn happy with the results. So we're moving on to paint. But just to explain, yesterday afternoon I was looking after Zelly and Clara came up here, cleaned everywhere. So we've now got a dust-free environment to work in. There's still a couple of marks on the floor, but that's to be expected. So today, before we start painting, I've got to do one or two little jobs, but I need help. Let me explain. So if you can see here on the wall, this is cracked and it needs to be filled. But in order for me to do that and do a good job, I need someone to come here, tilt the radiator back and hold it in place while I then work there. So we'll wait later for that. So that's job number one. And job number two is to fill this little, there's a little hole right there. So we got to fill that in. And then that's it. We're on painting after that. So we're getting there. Wednesday, we're ready for paint. Not bad, huh? So right now Clara and Fred's also here. Clara and Fred are going out and they're going to buy undercoat because we're going to need a lot of it. So while doing the undercoat, we found a little problem. I don't know what's caused this, but blown. Completely blown. Why? I don't know. That's nice. Don't you just love problems? So, problem number one you've already seen, which is right there. That's problem number one. With problem number, it's just gone, it's blown, I don't know why. Problem number one. Hole. It's not covered. Another hole. So that's two holes over there. A giant blown bit of plaster over there. But that's not the worst bit. All the plaster I put over the cracks has all come off, as well as a bit of He's plaster, which has also come off. So we've got plaster and the roller's taken other bits of plaster off as well. So now the wall is an absolute mess. It all needs sanding, redoing. And isn't this just lovely? Especially when you get all these giant bits everywhere. So yeah, fun. Not very fun. There you go, another crack where all the plaster's come off. So basically my plan of undercoat everywhere today, paint tomorrow, is out the window. I'm gonna undercoat everything today, have a look at where all the plaster's coming off, redo all that plaster tomorrow, and hopefully paint the day after. Maybe. We'll see. Oh. Problems. What can you do? Okay, Thursday morning. Now, last night I let the paint dry, and then when the paint was dry, I went over and I did a bit more mud. So, fingers crossed it's going to actually stay on the wall this time. All patched, wherever it came off. I've redone all here, a little bit smoother. I mean, you should be able to see the patches that I've done. But it's not just that. Now here in the hallway, it's an absolute mess. We're storing things, there's laminate flooring, there's my tools I need. But there's a big mess. Let me show you why. So right here, everything that you can see there is actually from the attic. And if we look up, there's now a hole. And this is for a vent, apparently. Because the kitchen is going to be in what is currently the living room. And down here, there will be a vent coming straight up and out the chimney for the cooker. So there's a hole. Nice though. Upon closer inspection of the wall in daylight, the mud came back out. Hopefully this will be better. Anyway, here we had a big screw sticking out, which you can still see. I might need to pass that again. I'm getting better at mudding though. And here where we had the big bulge in the wall, tape and mud, and I'll see what it looks like when it's dried. Hopefully, we'll not see it. I don't know what caused that, I really don't, but from a big bulging crack to that, not bad. So now, I've got to do the corners, the edges, and then let all this mud dry, and then it's coat number 2. Boom. Every corner, angle, everything, same along the beam here, has just been painted. It's a bit wet, it's not dry yet, but there we go. So now, second undercoat. Unfortunately, I don't think this room is going to be finished by the end of this week, but there we go. Definitely want another undercoat on this plasterboard. It's really soaking up this undercoat. It's also doing it on the plaster, so yeah, another undercoat needed. The entire room. I'm gonna be busy. Let's get started. Well, I've just stopped for lunch, and I always stop when Zelly has a sleep and a nap, and I've just woke up. That is one extremely white wall, double undercoat. Very tempted to leave that like that, not gonna lie. Before, after. Double undercoat. That is extremely white, I'm very happy with that. But, looks like I'm painting again. I'm not sure if the camera's gonna pick this up, but snowstorm? Okay, snowstorm. Lovely. Second undercoat, not doing here, you'll see why. There is done though, everywhere though, but not here, you'll see why. Second undercoat done on every wall, ceiling, everywhere. Has had 2 coats of undercoat. Whew. I've had enough of painting. So there you go. Why I'm not doing that, you're probably going to have to wait till next week. So, sorry about that, but yeah. Tomorrow, actual white paint goes on. I'll see you then. So, Friday. Now, normally on Friday, I will edit the video, upload it, and then continue after. However, we've got to get a finger out and get this moving as quickly as possible. This afternoon, our friend Louis is coming to help build something you will see later. This video is probably going to be late, but so far, this morning I have painted the chimney, this wall, only the radiator, so Clara this afternoon can finish painting the radiator, as well as up there where the dog did it. Anyway, everywhere's got a first coat, second coat, second undercoat and a first coat of paint. And I'll be honest with you, I'm probably just going to leave it like that. There's a reason that we've not done that, and you're going to find out why. All the roof is done. What is left is this wall here, the corner that I hate. So I've got to do this side, that wall, and then all of this wall needs painting. And then after that, that wall's getting colour on it, as well as the door. So, I'm not recording myself painting white on white. You won't see any difference because it's very difficult for me to see a difference, so I've just been cracking on with it. But when I get onto the colour, we'll see how it goes and we'll see the difference. Hopefully, we'll see the difference. But not bad. There's paint on the walls, almost done with the first coat. I'm hoping there's not going to be need for a second coat. There probably is, but whether I'll do one or not, probably not. Anyway, time to crack on and paint this wall. I prefer to paint a smaller wall, but never mind. Cheers. So yesterday I basically passed out in the afternoon and went to sleep at like what, 3 in the afternoon, and woke up this morning extremely exhausted. So today we're doing the colour, and behind me this is going in there, so I have to paint this wall the colour we want. There's a piece of wood going on the top, and then that's going to get pushed into this gap. There's already one in place there. And then there's doors going on it, and you'll see later. One door getting painted by me. And while I've been doing this, now my plan here is there's not a lot of room here. So I painted the top, this side, and along this side. The top side and that side I will paint when I turn the door over. We'll see. I think I've also painted the wall a little bit over there, so... Now well. And here, laminate floor. No laminate floor, but laminate floor's going in so that Louis can do this.
Là, c'est pas mal.
There we go. Hey! This needs a second coat. There you go. So we're on Sunday morning. I will get this video edited and uploaded, but the reason why not is Louis was here to help us build this furniture for under the slanted part of the roof. I've done 3 coats of paint on this purple wall. that is enough. I've also painted the door. Zelly managed to spill a quarter of the tin of paint all over the floor, and now there's none left, which is nice. Because at the side of the door, I still have to paint the buttons to hide the door to the plasterboard, which is also nice. Basically, there's a lot of errors in this room because we've rushed it. So, not overly happy, but it is what it is. Yeah. I've also managed to paint the ceiling purple, where it should be white. So I guess I'm going to be painting that again. Oops. The tape that I had was not long enough, basically. So I'm now going to have to come over here with white paint and paint everything again. Well, there we go. So today we're going to be finishing the floor, which is very interesting. We thought we would finish this last night, but let me show you this. Very wonky wall. Now I cut this, and the problem is when this is on the wall and glued to the wall, that needs cutting again. Wonky walls, aren't they fun? I mean, it can literally sit inside the gap, so that's a no. Yeah. And then we've got the very fun pleasure of this silly tiny gap. And then a bit of cleanup, because that's a mess. But bedroom 2, nearly done. I've got painting and floor to do. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the floor is finished. The wall is horrible, I know. It's also in the corner where I can't get to. I'm going to have to sand that before I put the skirts on. I'm not looking forward to that. But everything's cut, the floor is down. I really regret making this that small. You just can't. There's no space to do anything. Yeah. Anyway. One finished floor. Everything down. Next is skirting boards and... yeah. Get this purple off. Who's done that? I've no idea. Anyway. So, okay, we're currently measuring up the skirting boards. I've not glued any yet, but I'm measuring up and placing them against the wall before I glue them, just to check. Now, bearing in mind there's going to be furniture going in this corner, over here, that I'm looking at now, I'm not going to put the skirting boards behind. But you get the idea of where I'm at with the boards along the floor and where I'm up to now. The idea here is to hide these pipes by boxing them in. So I'm not putting skirting board there or there yet because we don't know how long it's going to be, where it's going to be. But everything I've cut so far is perfect up until the point where I've just made the wrong cut right there. It was going so well up until that moment. And then, well, yep. It's not even on the right side. There we go. So that's how it should look, but that should be the other way. So as you see, I may have done a little whoopsie. Guess what's going in the bin? And guess who's starting again? Skirting boards are on, blocked with boxes of laminate flooring to try keep them in place, hold them in. I've stole JP's idea of 245-degree angle cuts for the corners. Make it look nice. So they're stuck where I can stick them. I can't do this one yet. And Fred's busy building a bed. Yes, the bed of Zelly, he says. And over here, the idea is to box the pipes in, which is why there's no skirting board on this wall or here yet, because the wood we've got isn't tall enough to do it. We can't put a top piece on, so maybe have a head scratcher of that, but I can do this later. Or I might just do the skirts now, I don't know. But anyway, I've got one left which is drying, which is another corner piece. But in order to hold the skirts in some places, I've been a bit, I've thought of some things. There we go, I've managed to get stuck down what I want to get stuck down. I'm not going all the way with the sideboards here, the kickboards, because that's going to be going there and then it won't move. So I've done where you can see basically. I've got laminate flooring, sticking them all in place to let the glue go off. I'll move that tomorrow. The bed has been made. There's a little bookshelf as well. And that's basically it. There's a couple of finishing touches, like the trim around the door has to be done. I've still got to get the paint off the ceiling. I'll be doing that tomorrow. But one room done again. Floor down, furniture built, bed built, bookshelf built, floor down, paint where it needs to be. So there you go, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.